Hi guys, so we're in Grimmfest. It's the opening night, first film of the night, Habit, the UK premiere. Tell us about the film and how you're involved in it.
I'm Simeon Halligan. I'm the director of Habit.
Oh, I'm Sally Carman. I'm in Habit.
Who do you play in Habit?
I play Mandy. In Habit.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm in the film.
I'm Elliot, and I'm also in the film. I play Michael.
I'm Roxanne, I play Alex in Habit. This is Joanne.
And I'm Joanne Mitchell, and I play Katie in Habit.
In Habit. So we're the cast of Habit.
Some of them. We're not all here, but there's a lot of them. Yeah.
Now Sim, this film was originally a book that you picked up.
Yes.
And can you tell me how you got interested in the story?
Yeah, it's a gritty northern novel which I really liked, which kind of starts as a kind of dark drama and then shifts into this much darker tone and goes into kind of quite horrific territory. And I thought it'd make a good movie, so I ended up adapting it into a film.
Oh, fantastic. Now, one of the interesting comments about the book was that the characters were kind of designed to not be particularly likable people. Well, I wanted to see if kind of like you took a different angle with it, and you feel kind of your characters kind of shone a little differently than from the book.
I think Mandy and Michael's relationship actually is extremely emotional, and you invest in them because they're fully rounded characters, and this could actually be a kitchen sink drama. I mean, give or take a bit of cannibalism. But things happen, especially in Manchester. This is. So I would disagree with that. I think you've just got people who are victims of circumstance more than unlikable characters. There's a lot of heart in this film. Actual real heart's been eaten by cannibals.
And do you guys feel that your characters are likable in your interpretations?
I don't think it's about being likeable, it's about being real. I think there's so many layers to different stories and backgrounds, and like you were saying, they're all products of the past. So there's moments in every single person's story that you can engage with and relate to. So I don't think it was about being likeable, it was more about playing the truth.
I think they're very damaged characters.
Yeah.
I think they're all damaged and they've all come together in a kind of community. In an underworld community, and I think, and they look out for each other, and that's, it doesn't matter about being likable. They are good to each other.
I mean, I think one of the challenges of the film is to, you go to very dark places with these people, but you hope that the audience is going to go on that journey, particularly with Michael, and identify with him, despite all the bizarre and quite dark things he gets up to with the other characters in the film. Hopefully you go on that journey and you do identify with him. I think that's a real challenge because if you can take the journey, the audience on an emotional journey through something that's quite abhorrent to a lot of people, the things that they get up to is quite abhorrent. But these are the kind of main characters in the story, and hopefully you kind of do identify them because there are threats to their world.
Yeah. And obviously Manchester, the city, is a very big character, I think, in the movie as well. The book was written for Manchester, and obviously it's in your backyard, it's where you live. What was it like shooting around Manchester?
We did a lot of night shoots around the northern quarter, and they were quite tricky because you got a lot of kind of people coming out of bars and clubs, with a few drinks down them. So at times it got a bit tricky. We had to have a bit of security on. But no, it was great shooting around Manchester. I wanted to make a film that was set in my home city because I made two other movies that were set in the wilds of Scotland and set in the wilds of North Wales, and suddenly thought we should make something that's actually set in our home city, and also making a kind of horror-based thing in an urban environment. Not many people tend to do that. A lot of horror movies are set out in the wilds, aren't they? People go out into the countryside and terrible things happen to them. And I thought it would be nice to do a horror film that's set in an urban environment because you don't get many.
And Roxanne, you've been in quite a few horror films now.
I know, what am I doing? My mum's forever saying, can you do a bit of comedy please? I'm forever in horror films and I can't even watch horror.
But you're on the other side of the coin this time.
I know.
Yeah, how did that feel?
Yeah, do you know what? Like you were saying, it was refreshing to be a part of a story that was based up north as well, not just a British horror film, but something in Manchester, because it was gritty and real, and I don't know about everyone else, but I felt like it was almost a drama. It wasn't just that suspended genre of horror or thriller. It was a dramatic story that could have easily been on TV as like a 3-part drama. But no, I loved it, and it was a different character for me, and it was just the best cast I've ever worked with, best team. I've said it.
You have to say that.
But no, it was brilliant because it was putting Manchester on the screen, and I think after the year that Manchester's had, it deserves some celebration after everything, and it needs to be showcased more because it's a brilliant city.
I think it's a really interesting film as well, being British, because it's almost like a who's who of kind of like TV shows and what's on television, and you're all people that we recognise and we know from television. So seeing you on screen doing something rather different is very interestingly grounded in reality. I mean, was the transition into this kind of movie different for you guys?
Well, he was Mr. Northern Soul here. You couldn't get any different from Northern Soul to Habit, could you?
Yeah, it's a bit different. Yeah, I guess like all of us have kind of don't look at me. Don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a cool cast. We're all kind of like all you guys. We've all done completely different things. So coming together and doing something, it's an interesting cocktail, I think.
And how are you guys all with the blood scenes as well? Because from the shots that I've seen as well, the scenes. Yeah.
I love blood.
We know you love
We need more blood.
We know you do.
I was very at home.
It was an interesting shoot. One of the days where we were just completely covered in prosthetics and blood, and it was cold and it was mechanical and it felt anything but comfortable. But I think that's how we bonded as a team. Like by the end of the shoot, we all felt like we'd known each other for like a year. It was crazy, wasn't it?
We did a lot of smothering of blood.
Lot of
and-
smothering.
Yeah, you enjoyed that, didn't you? I think I put something in your mouth at one point when you were...
Hello.
So touching about. Can I just point out that she meant a prosthetic bit of like a limb.
Yes,
That's
we-
total clickbait. That's total clickbait.
That doesn't make it sound any better.
Doesn't make it sound any better.
Okay, we're going to have to wind this up, I think.
You have to watch the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that comment, I think it's time to go.
Fantastic, guys. We'll enjoy the rest of the festival, and I can't wait.
Thank you.
I put a limb in my mouth.
Okay.